Hello, it's the NBA fans. Today we're going to break down the New Orleans Pelicans and their offseason. The organization that just today had their star, Zion Williams, come out and say that he wants to stay. He wants to be a part of the future of New Orleans. And such big news for them. Exciting times for their future. They're going to have their star returning to the 2022-2023 NBA season. Now let's talk about how the front office of the Pelicans could restructure their roster around their big three and get ready to compete and get deeper into the playoffs this season. We're going to talk about that. Make sure you comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on the New Orleans Pelicans. If you're a fan, if you're an NBA fan, let us know what you think the Pelicans should do to build around Zion and Brian Ingram and CJ McCollum. And we'll be right with you in the rest of the video after this 30-second buzzer. All right, fans, this is Built by Sports, the podcast built by fans who were built by sports. Thank you for joining us on this discussion about the offseason for the New Orleans Pelicans. Let's get right to it. Let's talk about two main objectives that we have as the front office of the New Orleans Pelicans for the offseason. Number one on our list, we have our three stars. Number one on our list is to improve on our guard play. The guard depth at New Orleans is subpar, we could say, and the fans would probably agree. Davante Adams being their foremost point guard has not lived up to the expectations there in New Orleans, and there's many rumors out there about New Orleans wanting to move on from Devontae Graham as their point guard, and I would agree that that is the correct move. We will talk more about that later. Second overall, then the second need for the New Orleans Pelicans is to get some cohesion into their roster. Like I said, point guard play in general is subpar. You got Jose Alvarado, the pickup, who was a breakout fan favorite this last season. Definitely, we're going to want to keep him for the exciting play that he brings. But he's definitely going to be a key role player, but not the starter of the future, if you will, for the Pelicans if they want to go deep into the playoffs. That is my opinion. Let me know down below if you disagree and if you think Jose Alvarado is the future point guard of the Pelicans. I would love to hear your thoughts on that. But other than the guards and the roster cohesion, there is a little bit of a question mark surrounding Jackson Hayes and the future center position for the Pelicans. We're going to fix that problem here as we talk about the offseason for the Pelicans. We're going to start with the NBA draft. As we all know, the New Orleans Pelicans have the 8th pick overall in the NBA draft. A very exciting position to be in and a very coveted position to be in. Many teams vying to get into the top 10. And I say, as the New Orleans Pelicans, that we play it smart and we give a desperate team what they want. Someone who's desperate to make a big move for their fan base will give a little bit more than they should for that number 8 spot. What we're going to do is we're going to allow that to happen. Move back in the draft a little bit because the player that the Pelicans want is not going to be taken until later in this draft anyways, and so they'll be safe doing that. And for this move, what I have in mind for the Pelicans is we simply take Larry Nance and his significant contract, he's also been kind of underperforming in New Orleans for the Pelicans. Devontae Graham, two contributing pieces that can improve a team for sure, but aren't quite working for the Pelicans. We're going to pair them with the number 8 pick and give them over to the New York Knicks. New York Knicks get three pieces there. Their number 8 pick. I suggest they get a key piece to go with R.J. Barrett and build for the future around him there. Maybe they can possibly find a number 2 to be alongside R.J. Barrett in their future. Other than that, let's look at the Pelicans and what they received. They get the number 11 first-round pick from the New York Knicks, a second-round pick for the following year from the Knicks via the Pistons. Should be a good second-round pick there. But the key piece with this is the addition of Evan Fournier to the guard roster at the New Orleans Pelicans. Evan Fournier is 29 years old. He's really good at creating movement on the court. He's a good scorer and a good facilitator for the New Orleans Pelicans. Something that is needed, another ball handler, another consistent scorer for the Pelicans would be huge to pair alongside CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, the resurgence of Zion Williamson and Valanciunas. That core group right there, that starting 5, I definitely believe can return to the playoffs. And with the experience that they have and the addition of Zion and Fournier, I think is enough to possibly get them deeper into the playoffs this season. Comment down below. Let me know if you think this trade is a good direction for the Pelicans to take. Do you think that starting 5 is an improvement over the current starting 5? And do you think that it's okay that they move off of number 8, move to number 11? You may be wondering who I'm going to take with that number 11 from the New York Knicks for the Pelicans. And first, let me explain exactly my thought process here. The New Orleans Pelicans have kind of question marks going around Jackson Hayes and Valanciunas in the future. Obviously, Valanciunas is going to play through his contract here in New Orleans. They love him. He's done well. He's got 2 more years left, though. That is all. So this season and next, and he may be gone. They may not be able to give him an extension, and they will be sorely missing him if they have to let him go. And this year, Jackson Hayes is on his final year of his contract, and there are a lot of conversations out there on whether the Pelicans should extend him or not. He has shown just a little growth in his time here in New Orleans, and a lot of people are questioning whether he has much more to grow if Jackson Hayes is worth an extension and a bigger contract. In order to put these question marks to rest, I looked through the NBA draft and I found an insurance piece for the New Orleans Pelicans in the one, the only, DeMarc Williams from Duke. He is 7 foot. He has a 7'6" wingspan, athletic build, high defense, and high IQ on the defense. He's going to be a defensive anchor, something that the New Orleans Pelicans do not currently have. They have 2 offensive centers in Jackson Hayes and Valanciunas, but they do not have an anchor for their defense, and that is Mark Williams in a nutshell. Obviously, his offense isn't anything to write home about, but they have the offense coming from Valanciunas and Jackson Hayes. Like I said, they don't need another offensive center. They just need someone who can be make their roster more versatile in the overall scheme of things. I think Mark Williams is the perfect pick. Let me know if you think this is a good pick for the New Orleans Pelicans. Comment down below. Let me know. So after draft night, Pelicans fans should be pretty excited to see the new face of the new look of the Pelicans with Zion returning. Huge, obviously the biggest addition you could possibly make is right there with Zion. But you also add Fournier to bolster up the guard play, and Mark Williams to secure the front court for the New Orleans Pelicans and their future. But one final piece that I have in preparation for the New Orleans offseason. Obviously, Fournier was a big pickup, but they still have question marks off the bench for the guard play. That is why my top priority for the New Orleans Pelicans in the free agency period this offseason will be Tyus Jones, the point guard, who has gotten a lot of attention this offseason, who is going to be an unrestricted free agent and is honestly a type of player that any team in the NBA would love to have as their backup point guard and to solidify a competitive team. Tyus Jones, as we all know, he's a great facilitator, can score off the dribble, and a decent defender all around. He's a competitive and hard-working player, and that is why he's going to get a significant contract, around 10 to 12 to maybe even 13 million for his salary. I think that the Pelicans would be wise to go after Tyus Jones aggressively in this offseason. If you already have your big core pieces in CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, and Zion Williamson, then what you need is players like Tyus Jones who will meld the team together by how they play. Also, you could say Fournier is another player that can help meld a team together and bring them together, like help them play to their best potential. So that is it that I have for the offseason for the New Orleans Pelicans. Obviously, you guys have your own ideas. Let me know down below what your ideas are. And I think the Pelicans have a bright future ahead, and it's going to be key that they are careful and also aggressive in some ways in these off seasons to get Zion Williamson that ring. Brandon Ingram deserves that ring. He's been a fun player to watch, and we're gonna keep watching the Pelicans in the future to see how far they can go. All right, that's going to be it for today's episode of Built by Sports. Thank you so much for joining this video, for commenting down below. Please like and subscribe so you can see the rest of the videos that we'll have for the NBA season. We're going to go through all 30 teams. At Built by Sports, we also talk about the NFL and all the sports news that we cover around the world. So thank you so much again, and we will see you next time on Built by Sports. Thank you again.